Hi everyone, my name is Mary Beth. Welcome to my channel. So today we're going to ask, what does the divine masculine and divine feminine need to know today? What do they need to know? So I'm going to use this deck to figure out what it is that you guys need to know. But we're also going to use these decks. This is the Psychic Tarot deck. We're going to use this deck for the divine masculine. We're going to use the Twin Flame Journey Tarot deck for the divine feminine. Please feel free to switch roles if you identify more so with the other side, as we are both the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Also, the trick is to integrate your divine masculine and your divine feminine energies to get into twin flame union. Okay, so let's begin. So let's start with the divine feminine today. Let's start with the divine feminine. Let's see first with this deck what it is that the divine feminine needs to know that's really going to help out the divine feminine. We're going to do this deck first. What does the divine feminine need to know? Like, what's going to help out? So this has pretty much every area in your life that you can think of, every area in your life. So this is going to help you on your twin flame journey if you identify more so with the divine feminine. All right, we got spirituality. Well, that is definitely not a surprise, right? As a divine feminine, we're all working on our spiritual life, right? And so, what is your vision? What is the big picture of what you want in any area of your life? Okay, so this is about listening to your inner voice, find a quiet spot and journal. Like, what does your ideal spiritual life look like? Okay, which spiritual qualities do you want to develop? I know for me it's compassion for the divine feminine. I am really working on my divine feminine side. So, but for you it could be forgiveness, it could be gratitude, it could be hope, whatever that is for you. What resources would help you in your ideal spiritual life? Could it be books? Could it be certain organizations? Could it be certain people? What would it be? What's a good resource for you? What do you value? How do you live out your values in your life? Do you have a daily practice that keeps you in touch with your spiritual values, such as meditation or prayer or reading? Also, what are you grateful for? Do you have like a gratitude journal? So what is your next step with your spiritual life? So that type of thing. So that's what you're looking at. Beautiful. All right, but we're going to dig deeper into that on what you need to know. Let's look at the divine masculine side. What does the divine masculine need to know? What what does the divine masculine need to know? What area in their life? What do they need to know about with the divine masculine? What does the divine masculine need to know at this time? One card for the divine masculine. What do they need to know? Divine masculine. Oh, we got finance. Again, not surprising. So for the divine masculine, we have finances. So, so many people have difficulty with their finances, okay? But there are many professionals that can help with that, right? So maybe there are some people that can help you with your financial goals. What resources can you use to learn more about your money? What structures can you put in your life to help you with your financial goals? What changes can you make in your lifestyle? Reflect on, like what you can do to help support your goals and action plans, maybe a financial planner, maybe a life coach. I don't know, like whatever this means to you, it's like this is something you need to be working on for the divine masculine. But we will also get more information on that. All right, so let's start with the divine feminine. Okay, what else do you want? What else do they need to know, Spirit? What else does the divine feminine need to know? Two cards. What else? What else does the divine feminine need to know? Two cards for the divine feminine on what they need to know. And then we'll start asking from that deck. Well, other decks, I should say. What else? What else? Yeah. So, so we have Knight of Swords upright, and we have the Justice card reversed. Yeah, so what this is telling me for the divine feminine, it's like you need to be making this decisive action, and it's all about the no doubt, right? Like you have no doubt. It's not like zigzagging. It's not like one day it's this and next day and that. It's like no. It's like you are the Knight of Wands, right? Oh, Knight of Swords. I'm sorry. You are the Knight of Swords, okay? And there's no overthinking. There's no like being, oh, maybe my twin flame doesn't want to be with me today, or it's not that. It's not that. It's you're taking decisive action. Otherwise, you're not following your soul contract, okay? So your soul contract, it's like you're questioning your own soul contract. And so instead, this also could be you're working on your inner soul contract before your outer soul contract can come to fruition. So you have to think about what is your inner soul contract. And that, my friends, my divine feminine side, it's all about the spiritual, right? It's all about what does that look like for you and what spiritual qualities do you need to develop. All right, let's look at the divine masculine. What else does the divine masculine need to know? 2 cards. What else does the divine masculine need to know? And also, we'll also get messages at the end from the divine masculine and from the divine feminine at the end. Okay, so 2 cards. What else does the divine masculine need to know? 2 cards. What else is it? What else? What else does the divine masculine need to know? Yeah. Yep. So with the violet, this is the wands. So this is the 7 of wands. Okay. And so this is all about standing your ground, as you can see. Okay. So we also have the 5 of swords reversed. So this is all about conflict and defeat. So when you do decide to stand your ground, this inner conflict that you're having, which could be about finance, by the way, for the divine masculines, but whatever this inner defeat is, okay, that will start to dissipate when you stand your ground. When you again, almost like the divine feminine side, it's like when you know and you have no doubt and you know you're going in the right direction, okay, and you're cultivating and you're whatever it is you're doing, I can't tell you what you're doing, but whatever your practice is, and you know you're going in the right direction, this inner conflict will start to dissipate, and outer conflict. All right, so let's look at other cards. So let's grab this deck for the divine feminine. What else? What else does the divine feminine need to know right now? 1 card. What else does the divine feminine need to know, please? 1 card. What does the divine feminine need to know? Let's see, 1 card. All right, we got the Nixie. I don't know if I'm saying that right. The Nixie of Mill Pond. So memory is reversed. Okay, so what this is telling me is, so I don't know if you can. It's almost like a child, right? A child having certain kind of memories. It almost reminds me of my old school, Mills Pond. I used to go to Mills Pond Elementary, and you have all these different memories of, well, let's put it very frankly, you have a lot of programming, okay? A lot of programming that happened when you were a child, okay? All this inner programming. And so what they want you to know is that your memories is giving you a clue, especially if it's triggering, that's where you need to start. Okay, so in the spiritual world, when it comes to spirituality, you in a way it's how to deprogram what's not spiritual, or like what is wounded inside of you. It's like that's another huge spiritual aspect for the divine feminine. It is healing those inner wounds from childhood. Okay, it's like that inner child work. I'm going to keep this one out. Let's look at the divine masculine side. What do you want the divine masculine to know? 1 card, please. What else do you want the divine masculine to know at this time? 1 card. What does the divine masculine need to know? Sacrifice, the Little Mermaid, sacrifice. Yeah, so what the divine so what the divine masculine needs to know is that yes, this is a huge sacrifice. So if this has to do with finances, sometimes You know, there needs to be a little bit of hard work or a little bit of, I don't know, like sometimes there's blocks, right? Sometimes you might have blocks to your finances. And so this is looking at your cup half full, right? So you're looking at your cup, it looks, but so the trick is to look at your cup as, I'm sorry, half empty before. So like she might be looking at her cup as half empty. And when you do that, it's like you're not being grateful for what you do have. So the trick is to look at your cup as half full. And when you see your cup as half full, then that changes the energy and that changes the focus. And it's almost like the universe has to match that vibration. Okay. And so financially, it's almost like I loved what this one man said, how he said, he was like, he just kissed his money. I love my money. I love my money. Whereas a lot of people will look at money and say, oh, money is the root of all evil, or, oh, money, it's just like, this is evil, or I don't even know. So like people will look at money as, you know, like as not spiritual, right? And so he said that he's learned to love money because frankly, something's not going to come to you unless you love it. So that's the same thing with your twin flame, by the way. It's like you need to energetically show your love to your twin flame as well as money, okay? Because why would this energetically come to you if you don't love it, right? If you secretly reject it in some way, if you have some kind of wounds with it, you're not going to be able to attract it, okay? And so that is something for the divine masculine, looking at your cup as half full. Okay, we're going to pull one more before we pull some messages. So what else? What else do we need to know? I don't know, I'm being pulled to this deck. What else? What else does the divine feminine need to know? What does the divine feminine need to know at this time? What does the divine feminine need to know? Especially when it comes to spirituality. One card, please, when it comes to the divine feminine. Okay, yeah. Well, this is a big one. Okay, and I totally get this. So for the divine feminine, there's this, as you can see, it's kind of worldwide in a way where the divine masculine, divine feminine are way off balance, right? So if you look outside in the world, you'll see, let me see if I can show you a little chart here with the traits of the divine masculine, divine feminine. Okay, so in this case, we have the martyr, the shadow side of the martyr. So if you're acting like the martyr, or if you know someone who's acting like a martyr, this would be an imbalance of the divine feminine. So an imbalanced divine feminine needs to, like, I do this all the time, right? It's like you need someone to act a certain way for you to like accept them in their lives, right? That's not unconditional love. That's the opposite of compassion. Sorry, I'm like blocking, right? So that's like the opposite, right? So like here's compassion, right? So this is how you would be balanced, all right, in your divine feminine. But to be imbalanced, it means your chakras have an excess of energy. And so the martyrdom, okay, neediness, okay, I can't read backwards. I was trying to read backwards. Spacey doesn't show up. Shows up like a mirror. Okay, so anyway, so what you're seeing is this imbalance all over the world right now. And if then you don't have to be a woman, even if you're a man and you're acting like a martyr, you're like, well, I'm gonna do it even though no one else cares. I'm gonna have to save everyone, and I'm just not going to receive, and I'm just going to do it, or I'm just going to be the martyr, and I'm just going to make it all happen, and no one's going to help me. It's like that is actually going to block you from spirituality. It's going to block you from the all oneness, and it's going to block you from being unconditionally loving, and it's going to block you from your twin flame. So anything that's out of whack, any kind of out of whack divine masculine, divine feminine energies, this is why I teach on this, because this is huge. It's going to be a block to your twin flame. So compassion, okay, being nurturing, okay, that is the way to your divine feminine balance, okay, and that is how you're going to attract your twin flame. All right, so this is the shadow side. So this is called addiction to self-pity. So if you're addicted to your own self-pity, that would be the shadow. And the antidote in this card says learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. Huh, I like that. Learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. So being of service instead of a martyr. Okay, so that's really going to help out the divine feminine on this journey a lot. Okay, but that's what this is. So pretty much what's going on out there, it is being, it's like almost like blown up, right? It's being like a microscope, or the light is shining on all of the imbalances of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. You're going to see it on the masculine side, and you're going to see it on the feminine side. It's blown up right now between the two. And again, that's not gender related. Okay, so let's look at the divine masculine. On the divine masculine side, what do they need to know? One card, please. One card. One card. What does the divine masculine need to know? One card. Sorry, I have little hands, and this is a really big deck. I love this deck, though. This is Caroline Mrs. deck. This is the archetype deck, so I really love it. Okay, one card for the divine masculine, please. One card. Yes, again, another shadow. The hero, the heroine, so escapism and a false sense of heroism. Escapism, that's interesting. So instead of enjoying the journey, instead of climbing the mountain, this came out reverse. So for the divine masculine side, it's like that escapism. It's like, what do you do to escape the journey? Like, what do you do when you try to avoid it, when you don't want to face it, when you don't want to face your shadows? Okay, that will also block you from your twin flame. Okay, so you have to face it. You have to climb the mountain. You don't actually get to your twin flame without climbing this mountain. People think that, oh, I could just go to a bar and meet my twin flame and we'll be together. If you're watching people on YouTube who are telling you that, that is not becoming the divine masculine, and that is not becoming the divine feminine. That is just being your own shadow self meeting another shadow self. That's all that is. There's no work in that. Our work is to balance out our divine feminine, divine masculine energies. And when I say 0% of the world has done that, zero. I don't care. I don't care if you think the most spiritual person in the world has done that. I highly doubt it. Maybe 10% of the time. At the most, maybe 50% of the time, but not 100% of the time is anyone stabilized and they're balanced divine masculine and divine feminine. Okay, and so this is the journey. Okay, and this is how we are going to be one. Okay, this is and the twin flame is the mirror to our own inner journey of climbing to the top and of being in union. So it's funny here because if I look closely, it looks like a female and a masculine. So it's almost like your divine feminine is climbing the mountain over here. Your divine masculine is climbing the mountain over here. And once you integrate, you are in union. Okay. And again, you have to do it within first. You have to balance out your own traits, your own divine feminine traits. You have to balance out your own divine masculine traits. I love this chart. If you want to check it out, I find this on the wakeupexperience.eu. It's like, I love it. The wakeupexperience.eu. That's where I got this chart. Okay, and that will really help you to figure out how to balance out. All right, and plus when you're getting triggered and you're judging others, you're only hurting yourself. I love what my daughter said. She goes, it's freeing when she gives up the judging. It frees her. It frees her life. It frees up her emotions. Because she's having a tough time with that too. Everyone's having a tough time with not judging others. Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and pull some messages or anything else or any other. So let's do it from the divine feminine for the divine feminine. Oops, something already came out. So for the divine feminine, what does the divine feminine need to know? Ooh, I got the fan on. It's kind of hot here in Arizona. Anything else? I wanted one more. One more. I wanted 3 if we could. And if we don't get messages, I will pull cards for messages as well. This might just be like something you need to know. So for the divine feminines, okay. Ooh. All right, divine feminines, watching. Okay, so you know what this is. Either you're watching or they're watching. There's some watching going on here. Could be social media, could be you see each other in town, but there's some watching going on. Okay. Also, I'm just gonna go back down here and get it. Okay, so we also have some jealousy here. So on the divine feminine side, so if you are feeling some kind of jealousy, it doesn't have to be about your twin flame. It could be about, I don't know, let's say you're in competition with someone, or I don't know, maybe you have a YouTube channel and you're jealous of someone else on a YouTube. I don't know. It's like that type of thing. So that also would be a block for your twin flame. Okay, I'm sorry, it's very bright here. So that would is something that perhaps some of you need to work on. Okay, and then we have acceptance. So yeah, so being that is going to catapult you in your vibration when you have acceptance of how things are. Just when you're in acceptance, if you're in denial, then that's just going to be a block, right? So you have to have acceptance, and also that brings you to a pretty high vibration. I love to show off my vibration chart, which is the Hawkins scale, of course. You catapult when you're in the 4D then, okay? You catapult out of the third dimension the minute, I shouldn't say the minute, but when you stabilize in acceptance vibration. So that is very good advice there. Okay, so let's put it back on the bag in case it's similar. So let's see what else. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's do the divine masculine now. What do we want the divine masculine to know? Divine masculine. What does the divine masculine need to know? Which is interesting. I had a card flip over, so I will read that as well. I might just have to pull a couple, which is good because I don't really want it to fly away. Okay, here we go. Okay. All right, so for the divine masculine here, we have a couple of things here, very interesting here. So for the divine masculine is definitely going through some healing. All right, a lot of healing going on. It may be that inner child healing, which what it mostly is, some kind of wounding going on. So healing for the divine masculine, even as a collective, the divine masculine collective. Me personally, I feel like I've stabilized in my divine masculine. I have not stabilized in my divine feminine yet. Okay, so for the divine masculine, there's also some kind of obsession going on. Okay, so obsessing. So it could be over finances or it could be over your twin flame. Could be both. So there's some obsession going on here, over thinking perhaps about your twin flame. And then we have long term. So the divine masculine wanting long term relations here with their twin flame. So long term meaning they do not want to get back into twin flame union as a short term thing. They want to make sure they're healed. They want to make sure that they're in good financial shape because they want this long term commitment, is what I'm getting. I want a long term commitment, is what the divine masculine is saying. So there's a message for the divine feminine. And then I guess the message from the divine feminine to the divine masculine is actually, I'm not going to say, I'm just going to get a message from the divine feminine to the divine masculine. Let's not guess. Let's just do it. Let's get two cards. What does the divine feminine want the divine masculine to know? Two cards. Two cards. What does the divine feminine want the divine masculine to know? Two cards. Oh, and then this card that flipped. I'm going to look at that as well. All right. We have, I see a little part of you in everyone I meet, from the divine feminine to the divine masculine. And also, you still take my breath away, from the divine feminine to the divine masculine. Okay. And then, of course, from the divine masculine, it's I want a long-term relationship with you. I do not want it to be short term. Okay, and then for the divine masculine, this card flipped over. So this is the Empress card. So because we were talking about what you need to know when it comes to the divine masculine side, it came out as financial. And so giving birth to new ideas and feeling fertile, feeling complete, feeling prosperous, that is also going to help you, being the Empress. It's almost like nurturing yourself, nurturing your own gosh, heart chakra, because her like the green light in her chest, right? So it's like really nurturing your own heart chakra. Okay, your own love for yourself. That's really going to help you in your journey. All right. I also wanted to go over, before I say goodbye, I just wanted to say I am offering some specials. So if you decide to subscribe, I am offering a 10-minute free reading to all of my new subscribers. Just email me at twinflamealchemisttarot@gmail.com. Also, if you want to check out my readings, I do 3 questions for 25, 5 questions for 35, 8 questions for 50, and 12 questions for 65. I also do phone coaching for 100. And if you purchase an 8 question, 12 question, or a phone coaching, I'm also offering 3 of my first videos from my course for free with your purchase. Well, I do hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone. Bye.